Chris Brown and Ariana Grande, Hollyweird's golden child and scapegoat, or rather scapegoat and golden child. Why am I making this video? Well, you guys, it's giving nostalgia because it's been a while since I made some of these just videos about people in the entertainment industry and what I gotta say. I've been talking all about the Lord and things, but I wanted to talk about this because Chris Brown being arrested, I believe here in Manchester or wherever, which doesn't surprise me. Also kind of ironic that that's where Ariana Grande also had her big moment, right? Her moment where she had that whole terrorist thing. And now she's got this special relationship with Manchester, right? And lo and behold, Chris Brown gets arrested. And I think these guys are two sides of Hollyweird, and they're the perfect way to like kind of juxtapose, if that's the right word, the two different ways you will be used in the industry, because I think they are two people that are so overwhelmingly talented that it's a while before the devil or the losing team is going to bother with the second two of his three warnings, you know, the cancelled Crazy Coffin. I know that he can't get to Crazy and Coffin with them because they're too valuable for what he has to do. They're too talented, right? They're too naturally talented, and they're both people. Ironically, they're actually my two favorite artists when I was growing up, which is really kind of funny to think about now in hindsight, right? Because we'll get into it. But I always thought, like, they're so talented. Both of them can actually sing and dance and sing in different types of ways and do a lot of different types of things and are likable and are good looking and are everything. So they actually works out for them to be the best, because what they have, which other people don't have in the industry, is they're both actual artists themselves. Like, they actually write themselves, and the things they write are way better than anything Hollywood can write for them. And that's the key thing I want us to think about here. With Chris Brown, as soon as Chris Brown, both of them, they release music, the first community that's going to take those songs always is the dance community, right? Because like anytime Chris Brown drops a song, I know I just have to type in the song name and it's going to come up with every choreographer I will know. It's almost like you can feel the energy is choreographing that night, and their class that week, you already know it's going to be to that song. That's how it was even when I was growing up. So I kind of watched it the whole time because I always used to watch so many dance videos. And then because the dance people who then dance on their tours, who dance with them and for their fans, they're the ones watching, they're the ones getting, that's how people would get booked as well. Because sometimes if you like, as a choreographer, if you do the video, you're quite well known, the artist, you know, might show up and you might even pick you up and hire you to come and dance on their tour and stuff, or with their performances. So that's more of a Chris Brown side of things. And then with Ariana, obviously, again, although she started out, you know, on kids TV and then moves up, they both have had long careers. Now, what I want to talk about with the two of them is how different that the devil uses them and why I believe that's the case. So it goes actually, ironically, to their mothers. Actually, at the end of this, I didn't even think that this is where this was going. I believe that Chris Brown was sacrificed by his mother. I will say that myself, because I've had dreams about that kind of as well. Well, not dreams about that and saying that she sacrificed him, but dreams about her being there and like just the things that were happening in the dream. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean? But on the flip side, you have Ariana Grande's mom, who's like, thinks Ariana Grande is the best thing that ever happened to the planet. She's like, I just need to nurture this greatness. She's like Ariana Grande's biggest fan. Right, she's her biggest fan. And so I believe that because Ariana Grande's mom is like her biggest fan and like wants all of this for her and then is pushing her into the industry, I believe Ariana and her mom are very much alongside, like, oh, we've chosen the side we're going to sit on. Hence her getting things like the memory removal and stuff, things that could prevent her, you know. I think she's given into it, whereas I think on Chris Brown's side, I think he wants to get out of it, but he's stuck. And you can tell because of their music again, because that's something I always used to listen to. Like when I used to listen to Chris Brown's music, he would always talk about these things, like how he's trying to leave the industry and he'd always be trying to leave. And every time he tried to leave, I remember knowing that when I was a teenager, I knew that he was going to I knew that he was going to have a baby, because I remember getting an inkling that he's either going to die or have a baby. And I remember literally saying this to one of my friends in like history, because I used to just say these things about celebrities and a lot of them came true, which is kind of crazy, right? But anyway, so I remember just saying, I was like, he's going to die or he's going to have a baby. And I just knew that his life was hanging in the balance. Like, because I can feel that for a lot of people, but we're just specifically talking about these two here. Anywho, and then for her, when she started to kind of blow up into the pop scene or whatever, and whatnot, I was thinking, oh, this is interesting. You know what I'm saying? She's kind of like, she doesn't care that people kind of underestimate her because of the roles that she's been in. She's kind of just pushing for it, and she keeps going and she keeps, you know, growing, and she's killing it, right? And so, you know, I found that all quite interesting, you know. And so you could see, because Chris Brown kind of talks about it in his music, he talks about a lot of things. He talked about a lot of them. You would see him talking about the industry and trying to leave. And I realized over time that whenever he's like trying to leave, or he's not doing what they want him to do, or they just need somebody to as a distraction, which is what I honestly feel like this stuff now is, he's the go-to, because it's their way of keeping him in line. It's like, don't forget, we'll cancel you. Like, don't forget, we can get you, we can put you in jail. We put you in jail. Because this is my thing. How many people got in trouble for doing things like domestic violence or whatever that we've heard of, right? And are just roaming free. I remember that Chris Brown was banned from this country for like an entire 5-year period altogether, or longer than that, after whatever, right? But then other people get praised and loved. Like I've said, I always keep using the example of Mike Tyson is known to be violent, but we all love him just because he's Mike Tyson, because he's not Chris Brown, because he's not young and handsome and you can steal your woman. This is what really the truth of it is what I feel like. I feel like it gives straight up, hard hitting, heavy, hard hater energy. So, you know what I'm saying? And similar for like other people, like even though like I see that happen with women as well, where like people just clearly hate somebody for being beautiful. And it's like, if that's them, you're just giving hater. But anyway, I noticed that the entertainment industry, they can't let him go, and they can't let like other artists, I think they let go because like, honestly, we don't even need you, so you can kind of fall into the background. They are too valuable to be let go of. So it's either that you come alongside, because even Ariana Grande said many times that she was a witch before even this whole Wicked thing. And I've told you guys, I believe that something is going to happen amongst the females. It's going to be some kind of wave that's going to come in with Ariana Grande when this next and Cynthia Erivo, when this this next section of Wicked comes out, I believe there's going to be some kind of thing. Not to mention the fact that what songs is she sing? God is a woman, you know, all this stuff. Like, it's very much giving feminine, Holy Spirit. You know what I'm saying, guys? End times, like in the Bible, the end times, and how there's going to be like, you know, the whore of Babylon. It's giving the whore of Babylon. But anyway. And so he, on the other hand, I don't think he's as invested. I don't think he likes it, but then he can't get out because they need him, so they won't just let him fall away. But then if he doesn't do enough, then they're just going to take him out. And I think also now, because he also has kids, it's all just a bit complicated. So it's kind of like this back and forth of them picking and choosing. Like, you get in line, or when we need somebody to just take some heat, it's going to be you, because we need somebody to distract or do whatever while we have other things happening. You see what I'm saying? Or to keep them in line. Perhaps, for example, maybe Chris was going to speak up on behalf of this Diddy stuff, for all we know, because I believe it's all connected, as I've said. Maybe he was, and maybe if he was, let's say that he was, maybe they're going to be doing other shady things to keep certain people in certain places, because I just think the timing is just insanely interesting, isn't it? That all of a sudden, that's why I feel like he's like the scapegoat. Like, if we need somebody that's going to take some bad heat, right? Because I told you that in the Hollywood, the devil is the narcissist, right? So just like the narcissist, you know, just like how we're God's children, this is the devil and his relationship, the narcissistic parent with his narcissistic, with the narcissistic parent with his kids. And there's always the golden child, the scapegoat, and then there's like the middle child kind of idea. The middle child usually just gets forgotten, right? Not the middle child, the invisible child. So not the middle child, the invisible child, which unfortunately is a lot of times, a lot of middle children feel like that. And that's why I think my brain said that, but it's actually the invisible child, right? So you have the golden child, the scapegoat, the invisible child. The same thing with Britney Spears. You have the golden child, Britney. You have the golden child, which is Jamie Lynn, the scapegoat, which was Britney, and then the invisible child, which is their brother, right? You see this happen all the time. So you have Ariana Grande, who's the golden child, right? And what is the golden child? The golden child is the one that makes the parents look good. The one that makes the parents look good, the one that they can trust in to do things to make them feel good about themselves and get their, you know, narcissistic kind of needs. Ariana Grande, she's the perfect Jezebelic type of spirit. Like I said, whore of Babylon. She calls herself a witch. She's enticing. She's really good with the art of seduction. She's one of the greatest out there, which is why she keeps destroying the lives of men, and they can't even notice what they're getting themselves into in the industry. She's perfect, right? And she's promoting the toxic behavior of us as women. Low key, it's just that she sings so beautifully with such a cute face and such beautiful like dance moves that people don't realize what this woman's really doing. Chris Brown, who's the scapegoat, whenever we need somebody to point the finger at, we're going to point the finger at him. People are already upset. We'll just keep bringing up the Rihanna thing. We'll just keep bringing up whatever, bringing up that he's done drugs, even though now we know everyone was doing drugs on those white parties anyways and beyond, and just whatever. And the baby oil was even laced with drugs. So we're all out here calling Chris Brown the druggie, or Britney Spears the drunken person, or the Amanda looking like she's on something, or Liam Payne overdosing on this, or Whitney Houston dying from that, and Elvis Presley dying from this, and Michael Jackson dying from that, right? All drug related. And somehow these people who are just all taking drugs are not dead. Just saying. Anyway, and so he's the go-to, right? When they need something. And again, it's just so ironic that it's all in Manchester, right? Where right, where Ariana Grande is like everybody's best friend over there, right? Because, oh no, there was the terrorist attack. This was not staged at all by Hollyweird, guys. I'm so sorry. And like now we have a special connection and you'll love me forever and I'll be able to rely on you guys to do whatever I tell you because you worship me like as if I was a god. And then whoever controls what you think controls what you do. So now I control what you do because we went through this trauma together and now we're trauma bonding. And now we're trauma bonding together. And I love you guys with all my heart. You have my heart, Manchester, you know? Meanwhile, Chris Brown's being given a right to remain silent, having his Miranda rights read to him, right, as he gets in the back of a BMW, because the police drives in BMW over here. I've been in the police car here, but I'm not gonna lie, I love the police cars. Like being in them, it's actually nice. The police cars are actually nice cars, I can't lie. So they drive well. Anyway, not important. No, I've not been arrested. Yeah, and so he's getting arrested. He's getting taken to, you know, the old Nick. He's in HMP. Who would have thought Chris B would be in HMP in 2025? He's in HMP, His Majesty's prison, right now. Oh, I'd love to know. Is he in HMP Manchester? That's crazy. Anyway, I'd love to know which HMP he's at because I've been to a couple of the men's prisons. I've told you guys this before. Anyway, yeah, so look at that. And now that's what people are talking about. And guess what's kind of still falling by the wayside a little bit? All this diddler stuff, you know, people know that it's happening, but maybe there's a bit of silencing going on there. Because of course the Ariana Grandes and them are not going to say anything. Anybody who's on side isn't going to say anything because they don't want to give up what they're getting. Ariana's about to have her next big yippee-ki-yay. And as predicted, you remember, guys, I said her and this guy, Ethan Slater, are going to just somehow break up before thingy. Do you remember I said that when we saw November last year? While they were still very much together. Remember I said they're going to break up right before, like as we come up to it. And then I still believe Ariana Grande and Cynthia Weaver are going to end up together somehow. That's just my crazy theory. That is my crazy theory, but I've already talked about that in the video like months ago. She's going to keep quiet. He's not trustworthy because he's tried to leave and he's the delinquent, the scapegoat. So we just have to keep him somewhere. So let's just put him in prison. Let's just put him in rehab. Let's just put him here. Oh, now we want to help everyone. Isn't it funny? When it comes to Britney Spears, now we want to help people and put them in therapy and this and rehabs and this. And when there's Chris Brown, I want to do that. But then when there's Diddy and the Diddy parties, when there's all these celebrities, even other people, Tiny and T.I. were also accused of these types of things. Jay-Z is also accused of these kinds of things. And again, what's happening in the midst of all of this? Beyonce right now is all like, oh my gosh, Blue Ivy's performing the same. She's improved so much. Like they're showing them their sides. They're showing you exactly what it is. Anybody that's a threat amongst them is getting sidelined, is getting, you know, warned, cancelled, crazy coffin, one of those three, as you know, or they're participating. And that's why I think it's so funny. Like, it's not funny because I feel for Chris Brown in this case. I don't feel for Ariana because at least she's aware of what she's involved in and she's made her decision. So for that, I understand. And she shows that she knows what she's doing and she doesn't hide it. And for that, I have respect. Because I can always respect somebody, even if they're on the other team, for their hustle and how they do it, right? But for, you know what I'm saying? But for Chris Brown, I feel like he's one of those, he's stuck in a hard place. And especially because he's a guy and he's a man and he's going to be inclined to always believe the best about his mum, right? This is what these mums do. This is what I realize with mums and sons who are just really problematic. They just get to because it's their mum and they're a man, right? It's just, it gets to a place in them where they just can't get the justice for themselves that they deserve because it's their mum. And that's why these certain kinds of mums take advantage of that opportunity. I've seen it happen so many times. You know what I'm saying? This is why I feel like as women, we have to step up against other women because obviously the men can't stand up against them. That's why I say, again, if we all just deal with our own genders, everything will be fine. But anyway, I feel like he's stuck in that loop of he's happy to have her. She's always there. A lot of times I see people who have like these close relationships with their mums and I know it's toxic, man and female. And when I know people like that, I have to stay far away from them. If you don't have the right boundaries, I have to stay far away from you because I'm not getting caught up in psychological warfare with a grown mother woman because that means if she's doing it now, that means she's seasoned at it. I don't need that in my life. Anyway, I don't need to be connected to it. I don't need to be, it can't be in my network. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, so I feel like there's an element of that of like, she's not really, because realistically speaking, all he really needs to do is really give his life to God. Like as a woman, as a mother, she could really change the game for him completely. I'm not going to lie. Just her alone, because I know from having prayed for people and being a woman of God in people's lives, that it does make differences and you can actually step up for somebody on their behalf. It's one of the powerful things about being a woman, right? So the fact that she's not doing that to me tells me that she's chosen what side she's at least sitting on. and he's not going to do anything because he's a guy and that's his mum, and he's still grateful, obviously, as he would be, as everybody would be, for the things that she has done. But the truth is, she really did give him up to the industry, and she also really did allow, there's things that just happened in his life. So anyways, I just thought I would talk about that because I just find it really interesting, the timing and also the location of it all. And it's just like nothing, like it just gets to the point where it's like, guys, this stuff isn't happening by accident. Let's just stop like letting Hollyweird get away with us thinking things are just, let's just accept these things are being done on purpose. Of course, Chris Brown would be going to prison at this time, because again, it's a good thing for them to have to put in the media to get us not to be thinking about other things. It's a good opportunity to get people upset and turn the anger that people have maybe towards Diddy or towards whoever else, to turn it somewhere else. At the meantime, do all the feels. Ariana Grande is coming out with her other movie. Beyonce is having all of this with Blue Ivy and her other sister. They all came on stage together and it was so beautiful. Like, I don't know why. I think it's because my device, however, knows that I'm a 20-something-year-old woman, but I swear down, I don't know why I always get freaking content about good, like flipping Beyonce. It's like, I've literally said I'm not interested in and I don't want to see this. I don't care. And you think because I'm a woman, I have to be enslaved to Beyonce. It's crazy. You think I have to be enslaved to Beyonce. Ariana Grande, you'll get me though, because some of her songs are just too good. And that's why I know she's good at what she does, because every now and then she just drops a song and I'm like, damn, she did it again. And it's only ever her who gets me. It's only ever her who gets me. And Chris Brown, to be honest, when like I'm not listening to secular music and I hear a song, I think, why do you listen to secular music? What am I saying? When I don't listen to degenerate music. But if one of them makes a degenerate song and it's a good song, yeah, I'll be honest. I'll be very honest in my faith. Those two will get me. Every now and then, those two will get me. Because, but it's appealing more to the dancer in me. But anyways, you guys get to see what I'm saying here. I just thought it was all interesting timing. Anyways, you guys, if life's a game, just play to win. God bless you all. God loves you. I love you. And I'll see you in my next one.